بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. Alhamdulillah, welcome back to another lesson of دروس اللغة العربية. Inshallah, today we will be covering الدرس العشرون, lesson 20. And this is more or less a continuation of lesson 19 where we are covering عدد and معدود. Now, we just need to remember this simple rule in Arabic that the thing we are counting in Arabic is known as ma'dud, and the amount or the number is known as adad. So we have two things. We have adad and we also have ma'dud. Adad and ma'dud. Adad is, we could say, in brackets, amount. Okay, we'll put that on a different line. So adad is amount, and we also have something called ma'dud. And ma'dud, we can simply say amount, and ma'dud means the thing counted. Okay, so we would probably say the thing counted. Simple. Okay, so adad is the amount, ma'dud is the thing counted. Now, simple rule, if the thing we are counting is masculine, then the numbers from 3 to 10 will be feminine. So that's one rule. If the thing we are counting is masculine, then the numbers from 3 to 10 will be feminine, and vice versa. Vice versa, meaning if the thing we are counting is feminine, then the numbers from 3 till 10 will be masculine. So let's put some examples, inshallah. So that's the rule. Okay, we can fit that 3 lines. Okay, so let's just get some examples down, and then it'll make sense. So let's start with number 3. So ثلاثة رجال. Okay. أربع ثلاثة. Mention the whole rule and then we go against the rule. أربعة رجال. خمسة رجال. ستة رجال. سبعة رجال. Notice the thing we are counting from 3 till 10 when we count. The ma'dud will be plural and majroor. So ثمانية رجال, and then we got تسعة رجال. Let's do number 10 as well. عشرة رجال. Okay, so that's when we are counting. So we can just get this into a different color. So masculine, let's just do kind of a blue color. Okay, so ثلاثة رجال أربعة رجال، خمسة رجال، ستة رجال، سبعة رجال، ثمانية رجال، تسعة رجال, and the sheen will have a fatha. So عشرة رجال. It'll only have a sukoon when we see that the ma'dud is feminine. So let's put a fatha on the sheen there. عشرة. So that's when we are counting masculine, when the ma'dud is masculine. Now how about if it's feminine? Okay, so we'll do this in red. Or females just do it in pink. So this one will be ثلاث نساء أربع نساء. So notice here we're not saying خمسة because the thing we are counting is feminine. So خمس نساء, ست نساء, سبع نساء. So remember the ma'dud from 3 till 10 will be majroor and also plural because nisa is a plural of imra'atun. This will be ثماني نساء. Because it's ismun manqus, we can't see the dhamma. So we won't say ثماني, ثماني, like جاء القاضي. So ثماني نساء, that leaves us with تسع نساء. And in for number 10, the sheen will be sukoon. Like in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَالْفَجْرِ وَلَيَالٍ عَشْرٍ. السكون عشر نساء. So there we go. We have the numbers 3 till 10. So we can just put them side by side. So ثلاث نساء, أربع نساء, خمس نساء, ست نساء, سبع نساء, ثماني. Remember, there's no ta here now. نساء, تسع نساء, and عشر رجال. The sheen is going to have a sukoon when the ma'dud, the thing we are counting, is feminine. If it's masculine, the sheen will have a fatha. That's why we say عشرة رجال. Okay, so that was basically the rules to be found in lesson 19 and 20. So it's probably a good idea to kind of repeat this rule again. So if somebody is watching, they can understand the rule. So also let's just put down 3 till 10. Let's just put that rule down as well. Just carry on in green. The ma'dud, okay, meaning the thing we're counting, or let's just put the thing counted from number 3 till 10 will be majroor. That means it's in the jar state. The reason being is because it'll be mudaf ilayh, because it works with idafa, will be majroor and plural. So we won't say, for instance, ثلاثة رجل. We have to bring the what? Plural. So the thing counted from number 3 till 10 will be majroor and plural. So that's more or less covered the rules in regards to, let me just put it down there. Okay. So that's the rules to be found in this lesson. So what we'll do is, inshallah, we'll start off with the translation and we'll come back onto the tarkib, inshallah. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Here we have Layla. Layla obviously is the name of a female. Layla says, Ya Salma, O Salma, أفي فصلك طالبات من الصين واليابان. In your classroom, are there students from China and Japan? So let's get this translation down. We'll write the translation on this side so we can leave the rule for a little while until we move on to Tarkib. Translation, oops, have we moved on to the other slide? Yes, we have. Okay, so let's just get rid of the annotation. Let's get back onto that slide. Okay, so translation we'll put it on the left hand side today. So, Ya Salma, oh Salma, are there. We're bringing plural, so that's why we're translating. Are there any students? Because Talibat is nakiratun, we can say any. Are there any students from Asin means China and Japan in your classroom? So there's the translation for the first sentence. Are there any students from China and Japan in your classroom? So what's the response? Let's just put that bit up. Na'am means yes. So yes. Fi faslina, in our class. Let's say class actually. خمس طالبات من الصين. There are 5 students. Pay attention to the word خمس طالبات. خمس is masculine because the ma'dud طالبات, the thing we are counting, is feminine. So it contradicts. Yes, in our classroom there are 5 students from من الصين, meaning China, and 4 students. وأربع again contradicts the ma'dud. 4 students, so it's plural as well. طالبات is the plural of طالبة, which is feminine, female student, and also it's majroor because mudaf ilay. And 4 students from من الياباني, from Japan. So there's the sentence translation for that sentence, and it carries on actually. وثماني طالبات من إندونيسيا. So let's just put a comma there. And وثماني طالبات, and 8 students من Indonesia, from Indonesia. Okay, so that's the translation for the second line. So نعم means yes. في فصلنا, in our class. خمس طالبات, there are 5 students. من الصين, from China. وأربع طالبات, and 4 students. من اليابان, from Japan. وثماني طالبات, and 8 students from Indonesia. And Layla carries on with the conversation, and she is saying وفي فصلنا, and in our class there are ثلاث طالبات, 3. Remember, this is female students. There are 3 students. من الهند, from India. 6 students. وست طالبات من Philippine, and 6 students from Philippines. وسبع طالبات, and 7 students from من الكويت, from Kuwait. Okay. We can fit that in one line. Yes, we can. 2 lines, sorry. So وفي فصلنا, and in our classroom, okay, there are 3 طالبات من الهند, 3 students from India, و6 طالبات من الفلبين, 6 students from Philippines, and وسبع طالبات من الكويت, and 7 students from Kuwait. I'll just bring that bit down. Okay, so the sentence carries on. كم أختا لك? Won't be laka because it's addressing a female. So كم means how many, and أختا means sisters. We're not bringing plural because we mentioned this in the previous lesson as well. That the tamyiz after كم will be singular and indefinite. So كم أختا. So we're not saying كم أخوات then. Okay, so it's singular. So كم أختا. How many sisters do you have? Okay, so lucky means do you have. We won't say how many sisters are there for you. Lucky just means to have as well. When it's relationship, we use the word lak, la, instead of عند. So we won't say كم أختا. Sorry, sisters, not sisters, it's brothers, isn't it? No, sorry, it's sisters. What am I saying? Okay, no, we're not saying كم أخ lucky, are we? So how many sisters do you have? So lucky, yeah, coming back to that point, because it's addressing a female, so we're going to say lucky, not laka. And let's just put the exclamation at the beginning. Oh, Layla, the name of a female. So, oh, Layla, how many sisters do you have? كم أختا لك? Okay, so she responds and she says, لي ثلاث أخوات. Well, she's asking Salma, so I have ثلاث أخوات, 3 sisters. لي ثلاث أخوات. So notice here, when we are saying sisters, that is feminine, so the number 3 will be masculine. ثلاث. Another thing you probably have realized that it's plural and it's majroor. وكم أخا لك. So أخا, now we can say brothers. And how many brothers do you have? وكم أخا لك. وكم أخا لك. Remember, if after the word kam the word is ma'rifa, then it won't be mansoob. So if somebody's saying, what's the time? And you say, kamis sa'atu, it'll be marfu. When you asking in terms of quantity, so how many pens do you have? Kam qalaman indaka, okay, etc. Then it'll be singular and mansoob, indefinite. Li khamsatu ikhwatin, so I have 5 brothers. Khamsatu ikhwatin. Now, remember, when we looking at the ma'dud, we have to look at the singular form if it's masculine and feminine, because otherwise, when we say ikhwatun, ta'un marbuta appears, and ta'un marbuta normally signals that the word is feminine. So we're not saying khamsu ikhwatin because ikhwatin is feminine. No, we look at the singular, which is akhun. Akhun is masculine, even though the plural ikhwatun, the ta'un marbutatun comes, and it's mu'annathun lafziyun. We will still say khamsatu, taking in consideration that in the singular form it's actually masculine, akhun. So that's why we're saying khamsatu ikhwatin. So if someone sees that there's no contradiction taking place here because khamsatu has ta'un marbuta, ikhwa also has ta'un marbuta. So how's it contradicting? Yes, it is. Because ikhwatun, in terms of meaning, is actually masculine. It's the plural of akhun. So that's why when we look at it, we have to look at the singular word when we're taking in consideration if it's masculine or feminine. So li khamsatu ikhwatin, I have 5 brothers. Okay. Next one, next sentence we have is laki thalathu akhawat wa ikhwatin. So remember again, laki means you have, you're addressing a female. So it's going to be laki, not laka. So you have thalathu akhawatin, 3 sisters. So akhawat is the plural of ukhtun. So laki thalathu akhawatin, you have 3 sisters, and wa ikhwatin, and 5 brothers. 5 brothers. Okay. So notice here as well, again, we're saying khamsatu ikhwatin because ikhwa is a plural of akhun and is considered masculine. Na'am means yes. Okay, na'am means yes. Wa kam akhan wa ukhtan laki. And how many, if you want to ask someone how many brothers or sisters you have, kam akhan wa ukhtan, and if it's masculine, it'll be laka. If it's feminine, you're addressing to be laki. And how many brothers and sisters do you have? Lucky means do you have? نعم means yes. لي 3 أخوات و5 إخوة. Yes, I have 3 brothers and 3 sisters and 5 brothers. So it's like a kind of confirmation, verification there, and then followed up by a question. وكم أخا وأختا لك? Yes, and how many? So we can just put some dots there. Ellipsis. لي 4 إخوة وأربع أخوات. So li means I have. أربعة إخوة. أربعة means 4. إخوة means brothers. I have 4 brothers. وأربع أخوات and 4 sisters. لي 4 إخوة وأربع أخوات. So I have 4 brothers and 4 sisters. لي زميلة. I have a friend. Oops. I have a friend. اسمها خديجة, whose, because it's the na'at has come in the form of jumla ismiya. If you have a nakiratun word which is zamilatun and you have a jumla after it, provided there is a pronoun referring back to the man'ut, then this jumla ismuha Khadija can be considered as na'at for zamilatun. So I have a friend, and in translation this can be signified by using the word like whom or whose. So I have a friend whose name is Khadija. Okay. لها 8 إخوة. So she has she has 8 إخوة means brothers. She has 8 brothers. 8 إخوة. So remember, إخوة is masculine, considered masculine when you look at the singular form. That's why we're saying ثمانية. When we're saying sisters, we're saying ثماني, masculine form of the adad. And 8 sisters, so big family. 8 sisters. Okay. So I have a friend whose name is Khadija. لي زميلة اسمها خديجة. لها 8 إخوة. She has 8 brothers. وثماني أخوات and 8 sisters. So that's the translation done. Let's just go through the vowel markers inshallah now. So Layla obviously is a name, so it's kara zabar there, or alifun maqsura. Ya Salma, so that'll be munada, but it'll be mabniyun ala dham al muqaddar. Afi faslika, because of the fi is going to be fasli. Sorry, it'll be afi fasliki, not faslika. So if I did say faslika, it's a mistake. Afi fasliki. Okay, so it's just when we're addressing the female. Okay, so we can say ki. So أفي فصلك طالبات, which is the مبتدا مؤخر, من الصين because of the حرف جر من, والياباني because doing عطفا الصين. نعم, so it's مبني على السكون. Yes, في فصلنا, في obviously it's مبني على السكون. فصلي because of the في. So in our classrooms, that's a خبر already formed there. So that leaves خمس being the مبتدا مؤخر. طالبات, the تنوين is there, كسرتين. من الصين. وأربع is doing عطفا خمس, the مبتدا. So the vowel marking are there. طالبات مضاف إليه. من الياباني. وثماني is doing عطفا خمس, but because اسم منقوص it'll be ضمة مقدرة. طالبات مضاف إليه من إندونيسيا. وفي فصلنا again because of في ثلاث مبتدا مؤخر. طالبات numbers 3 till 10 work with إضافة, so this is مضاف إليه. 3 from India من الهند. وست طالبات again مضاف إليه من الفلبين. and وسبع طالبات من الكويت. so من is مبني على السكون الذي حرك إلى الفتح منعا للالتقاء الساكنين. So normally it's مبني على السكون, but we're getting a fat to avoid اجتماع الساكنين, combination of two sukoons. Okay, so come, the word after come will be تمييز, so it'll be منصوب and nakira. كم أختا لك, you're addressing a female. يا ليلى. لي ثلاث أخوات, so those vowel markings are there. لك again. لي خمسة إخوة, so خمسة is مبتدا مؤخر, it works with إضافة, that's why it's saying إخوة. So lucky means you have ثلاث أخوات وخمسة إخوة. The vowel markings are there. ثلاث is مبتدا مؤخر, because lucky will take the role of the خبر مقدم. أخوات is مضاف إليه, and then خمسة is doing عطفا ثلاث, so that's why it'll be مرفوع. نعم means yes, so مبني على السكون. وكم is also مبني على السكون. أخا وأختا both. Okay, منصوب. أخا is the تمييز, and أختا is doing عطفا أخا and لك. لي means I have, so that's خبر مقدم. أربعة إخوة مضاف إليه مبتدا مؤخر. وأربع أخوات and 4 sisters. ليلى. لي زميلة, I have a friend. So لي is the خبر مقدم. زميلة is the مبتدا مؤخر. So لي زميلة. Okay, let's just get that. So زميلة ضمتين. So لي زميلة اسمها خديجة. So I have a friend. Now, the nat ismuha Khadija has come in the form of jumla ismiya. So if we break this down as a separate sentence, we'll say ismu is mubtada, it's also mudaf, the ha is mudaf ilayh. That will leave Khadijatu, which is غير munsarif, that's why it's غير منون. منونة is don't have a tanween because غير munsarif is ممنوع من الصرف. The two causes alam and ta'nith. So we'll say Khadijatu because the khabar of ismuha. Then this sentence اسمها خديجة will become the na'at of زميلة. We'll do the tarkib of this inshallah shortly. لها, she has, so that's the خبر مقدم. ثمانية إخوة, ثمانية is مبتدا, that's why it's مرفوع. and إخوة is مضاف إليه. وثماني, this is doing عطفا ثمانية, but because it's اسم منقوص, the dhamma is مقدر. And أخوات is مضاف إليه. So that is the diacritical markings. Now the tarkib, I will have to get rid of something. So let's see if we can fit it on the right hand side here. So we may be able to leave it on. Okay. Now some of the tarkibs is pretty straightforward. So what I'm going to do is, because we have been doing tarkib quite a few sentences we've been doing now. Okay, so I kind of like shorten the tarkib because we can kind of work out what it is. Okay, so fi is jar, fasliki, mudaf is majroor. So we will just say fi fasliki equals muta'alliq bimahzuf. It's connected to that which is hidden. So what are we going to assume to be hidden? We'll have to say kainat because talibat is feminine, isn't it? So either we can say kainatun or we can say kainatun, whichever one. Because when we bring a khabar of a jam'un muannathun salimun word, we can bring it as singular, feminine, or even it can coincide with the mubtada, talibat, and we can say kainat. And that now is going to equal, okay, equals khabar muqaddam. What is going on here? Let's see if we can get back to where we were. Equals khabar muqaddam. Let's stretch this as much as we can. Okay, now we're carrying on. We got the word talibat. Talibat. That is man'ut. Why? Because if you have a nakira word and you have a prepositional phrase before it, as long as there's some kind of munasaba and you can connect it. So students from China, so talibat will be man'ut. Okay, and that will leave min equals jar. As-sin, because we're doing atf on of al-yaban and as-sin. So sin will equal ma'tuf alayh because we're adding on to the word as-sin. Waw equals atifa, and then that leaves us with al-yaban is a thing we are adding on. So al-yaban equals ma'tuf. Then the phrase as-sin wal-yaban will equal majroor. And then now we can connect the phrase min as-sini all the way to wal-yaban. This will equal متعلق بمحذوف. Let's say ثابتات وكائنات, and that will become the nat for طالبات. This was a bit long, we'll have to just go through it again. And then the phrase طالبات all the way to the end, we can say the man'ut and nat, in other words, الطالبات is the منعوت من الصين واليابان. Okay, is going to group together to become مبتدأ مؤخر. مبتدأ مؤخر. Okay, so let's see how we get this. في فصلك is متعلق بالمحذوف, so either we say كائنة or كائنات, and that will become خبر مقدم. طالبات before we make مبتدأ مؤخر is منعوت. من is جار. الصين is معطوف عليه. واو is عاطفة. اليابان is معطوف. Then معطوف عليه الصيني واليابان will become مجرور. Then the preposition of phrase من الصين will become متعلق to that which is hidden. So we will say ثابتات, and that will equal to become the nat of طالبات. Now طالبات من الهند, the منعوت and nat. So there we can say منعوت plus nat. When we say منعوت nat, we're talking about طالبات من الهند, sorry, من الصين واليابان will become مبتدا مؤخر. Okay, so that's the terkib for that one. Now, yes, in our classroom there are 5 students from China and 4 students from Japan and 8 students from Kuwait. So I will dictate this one. نعم is حرف الإيجاب. في فصلنا. في is حرف الجر. فصل is مضاف. نا is مضاف إليه. The مضاف إليه will become مجرور. And then the jar مجرور. في فصلنا will become a خبر مقدم. That leaves us with خمس طالبات. خمس is مضاف. So 5 students from China. So خمس is مضاف. طالبات. Before we make it مضاف إليه, we are saying where they are from. So this acts as the description, the nat for طالبات. So طالبات is منعوت. من is حرف الجر. الصين is what? مجرور. Now the preposition of phrase من الصين will become connected to that which is hidden, كائنات, and that will become the nat of طالبات. Then the منعوت النات طالبات كائنات من الصين, that will be paired together, making a مضاف إليه of خمس. Now we can say خمس طالبات من الصين is معطوف عليه because we're adding on from 5 students from China. So خمس طالبات من الصين is معطوف عليه. واو is عاطفة. أربع, same thing as the previous one. Okay, so we're just going to say مضاف. طالبات is منعوت. من اليابان, the preposition of phrase will become connected to that which is hidden, كائنات, and that will be the nat of طالبات. Now منعوت طالبات with is nat كائنات من اليابان will become مضاف إليه وأربع, and that will be the first thing we've added on, so it's going to be معطوف أول. Same thing exactly we're going to do with this one. واو is حرف العطف. ثماني is مضاف. طالبات is منعوت. من is حرف الجر. Indonesia is مجرور. The preposition of phrase will become connected to that which is hidden, so we'll say كائنات, and that will become the nat of طالبات. And then طالبات كائنات من إندونيسيا will become the مضاف إليه of ثماني, and all of this will pair together. ثماني طالبات من إندونيسيا will become the second thing that we've added on to خمس طالبات من الصين. So it's going to become معطوف ثاني. Now remember, where was the معطوف عليه? خمس طالبات من الصين was the معطوف عليه, and we added 2 things on. أربع طالبات من اليابان, which was the first. ثماني طالبات من إندونيسيا, which was the second. All this now will pair together to become مبتدا مؤخر of في فصلنا. Now, in our classroom, 3 students are from India. Okay, in our classroom, there are 3 students from India, sorry, and 6 students from the Philippines, and 7 students from Kuwait. So this will be exactly the same terkib as the previous sentence. Okay, so the only difference is we're just adding a waw, حرف العطف. كم أختا لك? How many sisters do you have, أو ليلى? كم is مميز. أختا is تمييز, and then the مميز and تمييز will become مبتدأ, and لك will become the خبر. يا is حرف نداء. ليلى is منادى. لي ثلاث أخوات. I have three sisters. Now the prepositional phrase لي will become خبر مقدم. ثلاث أخوات مضاف إليه will become مبتدأ مؤخر. وكم أخا لك is the same thing as كم أختا لك. The only difference is واو is حرف العطف. كم is مميز. أخا is تمييز. مميز تمييز will become مبتدأ. لك is the خبر. I have five brothers, same thing as لي ثلاث أخوات. لي is خبر مقدم. خمسة إخوة مضاف إليه becomes مبتدأ مؤخر. Lucky, you have three brothers and three sisters and five brothers. So lucky will be the خبر مقدم. ثلاث أخوات مضاف إليه will become معطوف عليه because we're adding on three sisters and five brothers. واو is عاطفة. خمسة إخوة مضاف إليه will become معطوف. So we're adding خمسة إخوة onto ثلاث أخوات and then the معطوف عليه i.e. ثلاث أخوات and the معطوف خمسة إخوة will pair together will become مبتدأ مؤخر. نعم is حرف الإيجاب. It's a particle used to respond. وكم أخا وأختا لك. So here واو is حرف العطف. كم is مميز, the noun from which the doubt stems out from. أخا, before we make it تمييز, remember it's تمييز not تمييز. There's two yas because from تفعيل. ميز يميز تمييز. Okay, easily in Urdu is said تمييز. The Arabic word is not tamiz, it's actually tamyiz. There's two yas, tamyiz. So akhan is tamyiz, but before we make akhan tamyiz, we're going to say it's ma'tuf alayh. Waw is atifatun, ukhtan is ma'tuf, because we're adding on to the tamyiz. So now akhan ma'tuf alayh with the ma'tuf ukhtan will group together and we'll say now it becomes tamyiz and kam is mumayyaz. The mumayyaz and tamyiz kam akhan wa ukhtan will now become mubtada'un and laki is the khabar. لي أربعة إخوة وأربع أخوات. I have four brothers and four sisters. The prepositional phrase here لي is خبر مقدم. أربعة مضاف. إخوة is مضاف إليه. Now we're adding on to this, so we're going to make أربعة إخوة معطوف عليه. واو is حرف عطف or عاطفة. أربع أخوات مضاف إليه becomes معطوف. That is the thing we've added on to أربعة إخوة. Now معطوف عليه أربعة إخوة and the معطوف أربع أخوات will group together and become مبتدأ مؤخر. Here لي زميلة اسمها خديجة. لي the prepositional phrase okay will become خبر مقدم. Also obviously remember making متعلق محذوف, so because زميلة is feminine would say is connected to كائنة. Now what's happening here before we make زميلة the مبتدأ مؤخر, it's actually man'ut as well, because we got a jumla after it which has a pronoun which is the ha here, which refers back to the nakira word. So now we can classify this as man'ut and not. So little tip here, if you have a nakira word and you have a jumla after it, whether it's ismiya or fi'liya, provided it's mid-sentence, then the tarkib will be man'ut and not. So zamilatun is man'ut. So before we make it the mubtada muakhar of li, we're saying it's man'ut, and the nat has come in the form of a sentence. So we've got to break this down. So ismu is mudaf, ha is mudaf ilayh. So ismuha mudaf ilayh will become mubtada. Okay, don't get confused how we got two mubtadas. Yes, we can, because the second one is actually part of the nat, the sentence which forms to become the nat of zamilatun. So that's why we can, if we're treating the nat as a separate sentence, we can have another mubtada in between, in mid-sentence. So ismu is mudaf, ha is mudaf ilay, and that becomes mubtada'un. Khatijatu is a khabar. Now the mubtada khabar ismuha khatijatu now will become the nat of zamilatun. And then man'ut zamilatun with the nat which came in the form of a jumla ismiya will become mubtada muakhar. And then li is the khabar muqaddam with mubtada muakhar becomes jumlatun ismiyatun khabariyatun. لها ثمانية إخوة. She has 8 brothers and 8 sisters. So لها is خبر مقدم. ثمانية إخوة 8 brothers. So we're adding on to 8 brothers. So مضاف إليه becomes معطوف عليه. واو is عاطفة and ثماني أخوات مضاف إليه becomes معطوف. The معطوف عليه ثمانية إخوة and the معطوف ثماني أخوات will group together and become مبتدا مؤخر. And then from there we can make into a sentence. Okay, so you may want to take a screenshot of this. So we got some rules here on the right hand side. We've got the numbers. We've got a bit of tarkib. We've got annotation of the diacritical markings. And on the left side, we've got the translation. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, gone. Gone. Okay, because we're moving on to the next slide. And we'll see how much we can cover of the next slide before we conclude the lesson today, inshallah. Okay, we've got a fresh slide here. Here is just saying read and write. So tamarinu means exercises. So here, let's read. ثلاث طالبات means three. Let's just put numbers here, it'll be quicker. 3 students, but I'm just going to put female. Okay. So ثلاث طالبات, 3 students. Notice here, it's because it's female students, the number 3 is contradicting. So أربع طالبات, 4 students, feminine. 5 students is خمس طالبات, so it's going to contradict. And the thing we're counting is going to be plural as well. طالبات, and it's going to be majroor. So 5 students, and we want to say 6 students. Okay, ست طالبات. We're not going to say ستة, so ست طالبات. On the left hand side, we've got the opposite of it. So we want to say سبع, we're carrying on from number 7, so 7 students, but this one's masculine now. For 7 students, notice here, sorry, it's feminine, still feminine, isn't it? 7 students, feminine, سبع طالبات. Okay, so 7 students, feminine. Let's just copy that and paste it here. And just change it to 8 students, ثماني طالبات. So notice here we're not saying ثماني because it's اسم منقوص. تسع طالبات will be 9 students. Had this been masculine, the only difference is we'll add a ta at the end of the numbers. So tis'atu, etc. So notice here the sukun, the sheen, when we're saying counting feminine, it will become, the sheen will have a sukun, it'll be sakin. So 10 students is ashru talibatin. So 10 students. Okay. في بيتنا اقرأ واكتب. So في بيتنا ثلاث غرف. في means in. بيتنا means our house. So in our house, ثلاث غرف, there are 3 rooms. In our house, في بيتنا ثلاث غرف. In our house, there are 3 rooms. So let's just put it here. في الجامعة, in the university, let's just put uni, there are 10 حافلات, 10 buses. So notice the حافلة, plural حافلات, feminine, that's why the sheen has a sukun. So in the uni, there are 10 buses. في هذه المدرسة, in this school, there are 8 مدرسات, 8 teachers, but we are referring to female. 8 teachers, let's just put a F. In the school, there are 8 teachers. عباس له 7 بنات. Abbas له will say he has سبع بنات, 7 daughters. So عباس له 7 بنات. Abbas, he has 7 daughters. Okay, that's not me, by the way. في بيتنا 9 دجاجات. In our house there are 9 دجاجات chickens. In our house there are 9 chickens. Okay. في الجامعة, in the uni there are 5 كليات, 5 faculties, i.e. areas of study or colleges. In the uni there are 5 faculties, so 5 areas of study. في الجامعة 5 كليات. When you say this word, make sure you say the tashdid on the lam and the ya. كليات, not كليات. كليات. في المستشفى, it's not في المستشفى, so remember that. In the hospital there are 10 طبيبات, so 10 doctors, but because we're saying female, that's we're saying عشر, not عشر. The sheen gives it away as well, and also there's no ta as well. So 10 doctors, we'll put in brackets F to denote feminine, and وأربع ممرضات, and 4 nurses. ممرضات do not mean mermaids, and 4 nurses. Okay, sometimes students just hear that this word sounds similar in English. I know the translation. In the hospital, في المستشفى 10 طبيبات, there are 10 doctors, but it's female. And وأربع ممرضات, ممرضات, from the word تمريض, from باب تفعيل. خالد له 3 أبناء. So Khalid, he has 3 أبناء, 3 sons. And وأربع بنات, and 4 daughters. 3 sons and 4 daughters. لي 5 إخوة, I have 5 إخوة, 5 brothers. And وست أخوات, and 6 sisters. 6 sisters. So because I said the word 6, I put the X there. I have 5 brothers, لي 5 إخوة وست أخوات, and 6 sisters. Okay, the vowel markings. So في بيتنا, بيتي, because of في. ثلاث is مبتدا مؤخر, غرف is مضاف إليه. في الجامعة, because of في. 10 is مبتدا مؤخر, حافلات مضاف إليه. في هذه المدرسة. المدرسة is the بدل of هذه. So هذه is in the state of jar because of في. بدل follows مبدل من الإعراب. But because هذه is not expressed the إعراب, but it still can experience the state. So المدرسة being معرب, it will have a كسرة. ثماني is مبتدا مؤخر, but the ضمة is hidden. مدرسات is مضاف إليه. That's why it's مدرسات. عباس, okay, so it's مبتدا. له means he has. So عباس is مبتدا. We'll come to the تركيب. The خبر has come in the form of a جملة, so له will become a خبر مقدم. سبع is مبتدا مؤخر of the sentence which forms the خبر, which we'll explain in a bit. So سبع is مبتدا مؤخر, بنات is مضاف إليه. في بيتنا, في is governing the word بيت. 9 is مبتدا مؤخر, دجاجات is مضاف إليه. في الجامعة 5 كليات, so كليات. في المستشفى, so the كسرة is hidden. 10 طبيبات وأربع ممرضات. 10 is مبتدا, طبيبات المضاف إليه. 4 is doing عطفا 10, that's why it's أربع, and ممرضات is مضاف إليه. خالد, Khalid, now the خبر has come in the form of a جملة like that one. Abbasun lahu sabu banatin. Khalidun. So that's why we said Khalid he has instead of saying Khalid has. So there is a distinction made in the sentence which forms the khabar. Khalid, and then the sentence has come in the form of khabar. He has 3 sons and 4 daughters. So that's reflected in the translation as well. So Khalidun lahu thalathatu abna'in. Now we're treating lahu thalathatu abna'in as a separate sentence all the way till the end. So lahu is khabar muqaddam. Thalathatu is mubtada muakhar of the sentence which forms the khabar later on. Abna'in is mudhaf ilay. Arba'u is doing atfan. Thalathatu. And banatin is mudhaf ilay. Li is khabar muqaddam. Khamsatu is mubtada muakhar. That's why it's got dhamma. Ikhwatin mudhaf ilay. And then wasittu is doing atfan khamsatu. So we're going to say wasittu akhawatin mudhaf ilay. Now the tarkib, probably one sentence I think I need to probably just mention. The rest I will dictate. في بيتنا في is harful jar. بيت is mudaf. The na is mudaf ilay. The mudaf ilay بيتنا will become majroor, and then the jar majroor في بيتنا will become connected to that which is hidden. We'll say كائنة because we're talking about rooms. Okay. ثلاث is mudaf. غرف is mudaf ilay, and the mudaf ilay becomes مبتدا مؤخر. في الجامعة 10 حافلات. Same thing as the previous one. It's just that the majroor is not involved in إضافة here. في هذه المدرسة 8 مدرسات. في is حرف الجر. هذه is مبدل من. المدرسة is the badal. So whenever we have اسم الإشارة, I've said this numerous occasions, if the next word is al, is مبدل من and badal in tarkib. So the اسم الإشارة will be known as مبدل من, and the word that comes after it, which has al, will be badal. So هذه المدرسة will become the majroor of fi. So it's incorrect. Sometimes some people say, oh, هذه is اسم الإشارة, المدرسة is مشار إليه. Fine. But مشار إليه don't explain why it's majroor with a kasra. So in terms of the meaning, yeah, you can say you're pointing at the school, al-madrasa, but in terms of i'rab, you're not explaining. So this is where you have to say it's badal, because badal follows mubdal min in i'rab. That's why we can come to the conclusion why it's got kasra. Mushar ilay, we never come under tawabi, that mushar ilay is one of the tawabi, do we? Okay, so anyway, thamani is mudhaf, mudarrisatin is mudhaf ilay, and that will group together to become mubtada muakhar of fi hadhihi madrasati. So this is the one I'll annotate. So we got Abbas. So we got the word Abbas equals mubtada'un lahu equals muta'alliq bimahzuf, connect to that which is hidden. So he's got 7 daughters, so we'll say it's what's hidden is ka'inatun or ka'inatun, one of those. Let's just choose ka'inatun, and that becomes khabar muqaddam, because we're making the khabar of Abbas, it's coming in the form of a sentence, so we're making the sentence of the khabar. Okay, that leaves us with sab'u equals mudaf and banatin, which equals mudaf ilay. Now the phrase sab'u banatin is going to equal now mubtada'un mu'akhkharun. Okay, mubtada'un mu'akhkharun. And then we have the sentence lahu sab'u banatin. So lahu sab'u banatin, this sentence now will equal the khabarul mubtada'i, the khabar of the mubtada, which is Abbas. So that's the tarkib of this sentence. So let's see if we can stretch it out a bit. There. Okay, so we can put it next to Abbas. So Abbas is mubtada'un, noun at the beginning of a sentence. Now everything else is going to become the khabar, but it's come in the form of a sentence. So now we will have to treat this sentence instead of tarkib as another sentence, separate sentence itself. So if you look at lahu, lahu, it can't take the role of mubtada. So lahu will be it's a preposition. It's connected to that which is hidden, which is ka'inatun, and that will become khabar muqaddam. Sab'u is mudaf, banatin is mudaf ilay. Now the phrase sab'u banat will become mubtada muakhar. Then the khabar muqaddam, which was lahu, and the mubtada muakhar, which was sab'u banat, will become the khabar of the first mubtada, which is Abbas. So that's the tarkib of this sentence. في بيتنا تسع دجاجات. في بيتنا, the prepositional phrase will become connected to that which is hidden, which is كائنة, and that will become the khabar. تسع دجاجات مضاف مضاف إليه becomes مبتدا مؤخر. Same thing with في الجامعة خمس كليات. That's the same تركيب as في الجامعة عشر حافلات. في المستشفى, the prepositional phrase في المستشفى, okay, will become خبر مقدم. عشر is مضاف, طبيبات is مضاف إليه. Now the مضاف إليه عشر طبيبات will become معطوف عليه because we're adding on to 10 doctors and we're saying 4 nurses. So واو is عاطفة. أربع is مضاف, ممرضات is مضاف إليه. And then the مضاف إليه أربع ممرضات will be معطوف of عشر طبيبات because we've added on that onto عشر طبيبات. And remember, معطوف follows the إعراب of the معطوف عليه. That's why it's أربع is following the إعراب of عشر. And then the معطوف عليه will become the مبتدا مؤخر. خالد له ثلاثة أبناء وأربع بنات is a bit similar to عباس له سبع بنات. The only thing is we've done عطف on the مبتدا in the sentence سبع بنات. So we can dictate this as well. خالد is مبتدا. Khalid is mubtada. Lahu, the prepositional phrase, will become connected to that which is hidden, so we'll say like ka'inatun, and it'll become khabar muqaddam. Thalathatu is mudaf, abna'in is mudaf ilay. But before we make him mubtada muakhar like we did here, sabu banatin, we're adding on to that, so waw is atifatun, arba'u banatin, mudaf ilay becomes ma'tuf. Now the ma'tuf alayh, thalathatu abna'in, and the ma'tuf arba'u banatin will pair together. Now we will make it mubtada muakhar. And then the khabar muqaddam lahu with the mubtada muakhar, thalathatu abna'in wa arba'u banatin will become the mubtada muakhar of lahu, khabar muqaddam lahu, and the mubtada muakhar, thalathatu abna'in wa arba'u banatin will become now a sentence, and that sentence will become the khabar of Khalidun. So when we have a mubtada and then the khabar is not one word, it's actually another sentence itself, we'll have to break that down again. Sometimes it could be jumla failure, it could be jumla ismiya. And if it's jumla ismiya, that means in that sentence we will have two mubtadas. One is the initial mubtada at the beginning of the sentence, like we have in Khalid, and the second mubtada will be of the jumla which forms to become the khabar later on. Li is jar majroor, so it will be خبر مقدم. خمسة إخوة, 5 brothers. مضاف مضاف إليه becomes معطوف عليه. We're adding on. واو is حرف العطف. ست أخوات, مضاف مضاف إليه becomes معطوف. So ست is following the إعراب of خمسة. Now معطوف عليه خمسة إخوة and the معطوف ست أخوات will group together and become مبتدا مؤخر. And then from there we can make a sentence. لي خبر مقدم plus مبتدا مؤخر will become جملة اسمية خبرية. So that's today's lesson, inshallah. I think that's enough for today. We'll continue from lesson 20, inshallah, next week. We're coming to a close in terms of Durus al-Lughat al-Arabiyyah. So we've got to lesson 20. Alhamdulillah, we have covered the translation of every single sentence. We've covered the diacritical markings, and we've also covered the tarkib of the sentences with annotation, and where need be, it was just what dictated. So I think that's enough for today, and we'll continue from lesson 20. Inshallah, this is the halfway point of lesson 20. Next week, remember, there will be flashcards as well for the lesson. If anybody wants to benefit from these lessons and they want to enroll into the full course, You can do by logging on to www.sidrainstitute.com. Alhamdulillah, we have run other courses as well. So we have completed the Arab course. If anybody wants to know how do the diacritical markings work, A to Z, it's 26 hours of content where every aspect of Arab is covered with Arab drills, so a lot of practices per Arab, and then eventually applying the Arab onto the chapters of the Quran from Surah Al-Nas all the way to Surah Al-Qari'ah. So that's why it's 26 hours of content. So there's application as well of the Arab on the last chapters of the Quran. If somebody wants to benefit from that as well, okay, you can log on to the website www.sidrainstitute.com and the whole course is available online. We also cover the Arabic rhetoric course. At the moment, we are completing, inshallah. Today we'll be completing Muhassinat Ma'anwiya, semantic embellishments. So we've covered Ilmul Ma'ani in depth with exercises. Most examples are from the Quran. 95% of the examples in the course are from the Quran. Normally, when we study Balagha books, it's from poetry, etc. Alhamdulillah, most of the examples in the Balagh courses from the Quran. Also, there's exercise as well. We covered Ilmul Bayan, science of articulation and expression, and we are almost finishing Ilmul Badi, science of embellishments. We are inshallah concluding Muhassinat Ma'nawiyya. After Ramadan, we should be starting Muhassinat Lafziyya. We've got the free course as well available. How to search for words in the Handsword Dictionary. You can go onto the website, register for free, and also you can benefit from the course, also free as well. And we intend to, inshallah, launch the Tarkib course after Ramadan, inshallah. So just watch out for that as well. The Tarkib course. There's going to be over 1,000 grammatical constructs, mainly from the Quran, and you will cover more or less all aspects of Tarkib, the different forms of Mubtada, the different forms of Khabar, etc. Okay, so that will be in-depth study of Tarkib. It's the first time I'm doing this course, so inshallah it'll be very beneficial and details will be given later on after Ramadan, inshallah, when we launch